So, hi, this is Dash of Dave here. I have just finished my live Facebook Live video, and I am sorry for moving the camera. And I thought, well, I parked some of the things that I was doing because I wanted to gild this. Okay, so I thought, let's turn the camera back on and gild this. So what I've got is I've got a setup now so that you can see the overhead. So this is everything you can see. And then we can move to here, which is a close-up, which you should be able to see then anything I am doing over this side. And hopefully that will be better for you. I don't know whether that position of the camera is right for you or not, but you know, that's gone all wobbly. Try not to move it too much, Dave. So I was thinking if I work on this white part, then you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So, okay, so what we'll do is we're going to work on some gilding. Okay, so what you need for this is some size. Now I've got some here that I have fused quite a bit of, okay, and then I've bought some more, and I tell you now, this stuff will last you forever. When you see how much we use, it will last you forever. So you can get it by Pebeo do it. You can get size, one size fits all. You can get loads of size, all sorts of sizes. It's going to get all a bit confusing in a minute. So inside here I have my gilding flakes. Now you can use gilding flakes that come in those pots that have got like lots of different colours in, and that's entirely up to you. You can use those, and I do have some of those, but these are actually leaves or particles of leaves, because I don't waste anything. The problem is when you open the lid for anything like this, you have to be really careful not to breathe, because what happens is it goes everywhere. Okay, so it blows around and it will just float away. See how floaty it is. So if you have air conditioning where you are, okay, don't use it. Turn it off. Otherwise it'll be like being in a glitter snowstorm. And as fun as that might sound, you wait until it's like in your eyes, when it's like in your food. It's like literally will get everywhere. It's like glitter but worse. Okay, so in here, so I've got some parts of glitter in there, parts of gilding sheets in there, and then this is how they come. So they come on a sheet of paper, and this isn't actually glued to the sheet of paper, it's just loose from the sheet of paper. Okay, but it's just static that holds it there, and really that's how you're going to maneuver this gilding, is by static. Okay, so what you'll need is, now this is a pastry brush, but this is perfect. This is very long bristles. I'll just show you this on a close-up. So this is very long bristles, as you can see, but because they're actual natural hair, okay, then they get, just like your own hair, get staticky. They pick up static. So the more you fondle this, the kind of better it is. It's also picking up a bit on the oils in your skin, so you'll be able to pick things up with it. Okay, so that's it. I don't use it for my pastry as well. I will just point out. So I have a completely separate one for that. No, I don't. I just buy it from a supermarket pre-made, because what the heck's that all about? Making pastry? Who's got time to make pastry in the 21st century, eh? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out some of this gold. Okay, I might use some gold, and then I'll use some of those pieces of copper in there. So this is just some of the old sheets, so I can get rid of those. So I'm just going to put the lid back on there to save it all going everywhere, and I will try not to breathe as much now. So what we're going to need to do is you need to put your size on first, okay? So this lid is stiff on because I haven't used it for a while, okay? And what size is it's glue that never dries. Well, I'm not saying never. I'm sure if you left it for 100 years, it'd be quite dry. But it leaves a tacky leaves you a tacky glue. Now, you can use some of those, don't know whether I have anything to hand, but you can get things like glue, like pin flare doer glue, that never dries, it stays tacky. You can use those, however it's a bit thick. And the best thing about this size is it's really thin. So let's turn you onto the other camera so you can see me doing it. So all you're doing is you can't tell where it is, but you know that your brush is wet and therefore you've definitely been over that bit. Okay, like I say, don't need a lot. Okay, and you're just going to go over the bits that you want to gild. Okay, it's best to work in small areas. Don't try to do the whole thing. Like I say, it's not going to dry, and that's not the reason why you're worried about where you're going to put it. The reason for that is you end up getting the bits in the wrong place, and then you get stuck to it, and it can get terribly messy. Now, I've gilded photo frames and those really ornate ones, the ones that were originally gilded, but you get in the charity shops or the thrift shops that all the gildings come off. I've re-gilded them. So I know from experience that it's best to work in small areas. Okay, so what you just want to make sure you do is cover any of the bits, the areas that you want. Okay, don't put the size, you can't wipe it off. So don't put the size in any places you don't want it, because that's not going to work. Okay, so I've done these, and I've done to the one where it's best to think about it in patterns. So I know that I have done all of these up to the one that kind of breaks off the page. Yeah, and then so I'm not doing the other ones. Okay, so I'm going to leave it. And you just need to leave it for a few minutes to dry. It doesn't take long. Literally, you're talking about maybe 5 minutes tops. Okay? So because of that, what you want to make sure is that your brush doesn't dry out. So you need to make sure that you put your brush in some water. So guess what I haven't got? I haven't got any water. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a bit of a spray over with my... It's all right. Thanks, Brian. Brian was going to pass me the water thing over, but I was thinking if I have that over here, it could all go horribly wrong. So all I've done is I've just taken it out of my brush. So I've just wiped it out of my brush. But thanks, Brian.
All right.
Okay, so what you also find is that your brush gets tacky all the way up. Okay, so don't be too tempted to... don't be too tempted... I've realised I hadn't changed the camera angle then. Don't be too tempted to try and keep testing it. You'll just end up with very sticky fingers, and what you don't want is sticky fingers when you're dealing with size. So what I'll do in the meantime is I'll do something else. So I'm going to move my sheet of gold away from that, and I was doing this on my live, and I might as well finish it while I'm here. Okay, so come back to this and let's see how we're doing, okay? Right, some of it's still wet, and you don't want it to be wet, you want it to be tacky but not wet. Okay, so what I might do is I might give it a bit of a blow off camera, just so that I can. The only reason why I'm doing it off camera is because if I do it on camera, it'll just blow the gilding flakes all over the place. So there we go. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. That's good. We've got nice. I'm gonna flip to this camera. Okay. So what you're gonna need to do is now you can either put it down whole or you can take bits off. Okay, so if you're going to take bits off, you have to be very careful. Let me move this into shot. You have to be very careful about touching this. If your fingers are sticky, you're going to get stuck to this. Okay, so tear gentle little bits off. Okay, use your fingers. Yeah, Brian hasn't washed his hair for how long now?
8 weeks.
8 weeks. So he's doing that whole thing of, I'm trying to get that in camera.
It's been rinsed with water, it just hasn't any product on it.
It doesn't have any product on it. It washes his hair in water, but not with any kind of product. So it's supposed to be very good for your hair. I can't tell because I don't have any. So.
And it is.
And what it does is it kind of leaves it to all its natural oils to go back into it. So if you think about like your cat or your dog, or they don't have a bath every day. You might think that they need one, but all you do is you end up stripping the natural oils out of their coat, and when they start looking a bit dry, then that's when you realise that they need a bit more oil in their fur. And then we do all that we can to put oil back in their fur. Well, actually, if we didn't wash them in the first place, they wouldn't need it. So it's much better if you can get static, but we are struggling for static in this neck of the woods at the minute. So just laying this onto the bits that I wanted it to do. Now, you have to take your time when you're gilding. It's not something you can rush. What you need to do is you need to initially tamp it down. Yeah, and then you can brush it lightly, and you will eventually brush it so you're brushing all of the other bits off. So it has to go through that whole period of looking a mess first, and then it gets better. So now we've got any extras that you pick up, you can lay back down again somewhere else if you had some more static on your brush. Okay, so just getting another bit of foil now. Now, I'd love to tell you this was real gold, but it's not. It's gold looking, and that's all right. That's fine. It doesn't have to be real gold. You're not re-gilding the Sistine Chapel, are you? So, well, you might be. So, just covering all the bits and then tamping it down. Look at me being softly spoken. It's only because I don't want to blow everything away. So, it really blew me away. So, again. So, this is the reason why I have a little bits box, is because you do have bits that, I'm not wasting any of this. I'll keep all of the bits that come off this. Okay, and then making sure you cover every bit. So those bits can go back down on another bit. There you go, got a bit static now. It's starting to pick up things. So
Radio 2?
Yes, it's picking up radio 2. So, understand this brush at all today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand this brush at all today. It's normally really staticky. And today, oh, you know what it is? It's camera shy.
Cut.
Every time you get a camera out and you try and do something and you explain it to someone, it never works. It's like the problem with live TV.
Yep.
So I'm just going to lay all of this down, so I'm kind of covering all of the bits now because I've only got a small area. It's much better to work in a small area and than try and cover the whole thing. You get much less waste, but because I'm doing it for you guys, I'm gonna just go for it. Okay, there's a bit there that I know that has got size on it, so I'll just cover that bit up. There's a bit there as well, so I'll cover that bit up. So again, tamping it down. I hope this makes sense to people. So tamping it down to make sure that you've got it on the bits that you wanted it. Yeah, and then what you're going to do is you're going to lightly brush, and you're going to brush it away. So you brush the first lot away, and that's brushing away all of the big bits of gold. And the big bits of gold are the bits that, you know, if we buy those pots with like shavings of gold in it or different colours, that's basically what you've got, is this, which you can then create your own little pot. You know, if you don't get them all, you don't get them all. And now you can go in and you can be a bit more brisk with it. Okay. So I'm not going to finish that off yet because I've got another bit to do. So this is how it looks at the moment. Let's go to this, the camera. That's how it's looking at the moment. So hopefully, I don't know whether that might be a little bit too close now. Let's move that away a bit. Sorry for the wiggly camera angle. There you go. So, so you're gonna get covered in it. I'll warn you. Fair warning. You will get size, and then therefore you'll get covered in glitter. Well, it's not glitter really. It's gilding flakes, but it's a lot more environmentally friendly than glitter is. So, glitter is terrible for the environment. Most of it is made of plastic. So basically, you know that stuff that they keep finding like in animals is microplastic, because that's what the seas kind of ground it down. Then basically glitter is just that, just cutting out nature, and we're doing it ourselves. And then like any card that you send with glitter on has got some of it will flake off, and then when it flakes off, it gets into the environment, and we've had it. Well, we haven't had it. Turtles have had it. So if you're a fan of turtles, stop using glitter. So all I'm doing is I'm going to pick up this whole like starburst kind of effect, very 20s, and that's why I wanted it to be in gold, because it's a very 20s kind of look, and gold is very 20s. So not worrying too much about these bits. If it doesn't, I kind of go over the top with the glue, then I go over the top with the glue, or I might have gone under the top with the glue, so might not be enough, who knows. Well, we'll know at the end whether it's stuck down. And the good thing is, if you've missed any bits, you can go back over it. I've just realised I've been doing all of that off camera. Yes. So keep moving the. I'm getting used to having this close up. I'm really sorry, folks. I might have to edit this. So I'm just going over that. Okay. Let's tilt this up a bit. You might be able to see more. No, you can see my shirt now. Oh, that's not. I need somebody to come and do my editing for me. So there we go. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave that to dry. Okay. So you can speed it up with your heat gun, but remember, if you're going to heat gun it, then move it away from where the gold is. I'm going to just try and speed it up for you by doing it off camera. So you'll just have to listen to me singing to you. I'm not going to sing to you. That's worse than blowing all the gold away, trust me. I could do a whole medley of gold songs, couldn't I? You are gold, gold, always believe in
I
your
really thought you were going to start with Shirley then.
Well, while I was drying it, I was thinking, gold finger, wah, 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 wah. He's the man with the Midas touch, a spider's touch. Yeah, definitely, Shirley, you've got nothing to worry about. I am never going to be able to be you. So just sticking all of this down. I'm just going to go for the whole hog thing now. Not going to worry too much. I'm not going to take my time like you. I would suggest that you take your time when you are doing this, okay? But because I'm doing this for you, I'm taking one for the team, and I'm just going to go whole hog. No idea how long I've been recording for. 25 minutes. 25 minutes of watching me gild. So, tearing bits off. I mean, like, obviously it tears very easily. So, but, you know, just be aware that it tears very easily. So, you don't get it. And go all over the place, which it is at the minute. Yeah, just tear the bits off, and then re-stick them wherever you need them. I mean, I could do, like, when I'm doing this properly, and I'm not doing it on camera, for instance, I could do this for hours. I used to love gilding frames and things. People have stopped wanting, the demand for gilding frames has kind of diminished these days. I think that's no longer in vogue. It had a resurgence probably about 5 years ago, but no longer. So all I'm doing, again, tamping it all down, and then I'm going to start to brush it off. Now, bear in mind, if you're going to brush it off, your wafting will create a draft, and it'll start to all go everywhere. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just put this piece of paper, put you back onto the overhead, put this piece of gold away, so that it doesn't go everywhere. Put it back in the box. Okay, and okay, so let's get rid of some of that, and let's get rid of this. Now, I would keep all of these bits normally, but for you guys, because I'm trying to do it quickly, not. Well, some of it went in the bin, some of it went on the floor on the way to the bin. So, but the intent was there. Then the next thing you are going to need is, so you can get, move this out of the way, I've got it up here, so you can get these things, okay? So these are for, they come, sometimes when you buy gilding, let's just put that close up, sometimes when you buy gilding flakes, they come with one of these, and this is just for, like, just rubbing off all the extras. The other thing you can do is, if you have a brush, you can just cut the bristles very short so that they become quite stiff, okay? And that will do the very same thing as that, okay? So if you've got one of these, great. If you don't, have one of these. Now I had one of these anyway, and then when I bought some gilding flakes, it came with that. So, okay, so what you're doing is it also buffs up your gold. It gets rid of any bits of loose gold. Okay, so that's that bit with that on. Sorry, and then there's this, which, like I say, does the same. So this is quite scoury, I find, and can actually see how it's done here. It's stripped off the bit of gold that you've just put on. So I find that they can be a bit too vigorous for me. Don't worry, if you've got bits that you need to re-gold, then you can just, most of the time you'll find it'll be quite sticky still anyway. Trying to get rid of those pieces of gold that were all stuck to my fingers then. So just brush it away, and then just keep going with your stiffer brush to kind of just get rid of all of the extra bits. Okay, so you've got this kind of like effect now, this kind of, let's go to the overhead and you can see it better that way. So you've got this gilded starburst effect. I want to do this, and I think I'm going to do this in copper, so I'm just going to again go over it with a bit of size. Get some size on, and just being careful about, you don't want to have a massive brush for this. Just being careful about where you're laying it down. And if you can see it, like this white, you've put too much on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw all that out, because it doesn't need to be that thick. Okay, this is quite porous. Well, not porous, it's kind of got an undulation, it's got a texture to it. So just wiggle your brush around, like go in, like, so your brush is perpendicular to the substrate, and then just tamp it, and then you're pushing it into all of the pores. So okay, so just making sure you've got the whole area covered. Like I say, brush out any bits where you can see where it's white, because you've got too much glue on there, and you don't want too much glue. There we go, that's that. And this is how sticky it is, because the brush is now stuck to my finger. So always put the lid back on your size, because I have the amount of times I have knocked that over and then you can't get rid of it. You've got that sticky mark that you just can't get rid of. So again, I'm just drying this off camera, just so that we can move on more quickly. The humming in the background that you can't hear is Brian, so he probably doesn't know he's humming. So
He didn't.
no, he didn't know he was humming. We did. We could hear him. He didn't. So I'm just going to use up some of these bits here. So I'm just going to use. I'd like to use the copper. It's all gone very quiet, sorry. That's because the reason it's gone quiet is because I'm trying not to breathe over the copper, so it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, and then just making sure that you cover all of the area that you need to cover. I mean, gilding isn't for everybody. That's the whole reason why gilding polishes came out, is because it's really not for everybody. If you're not good at patience, or you might have a breathing problem, then maybe this isn't the thing for you. So again, let's just put the lid back on there so we can get on, and I'll put this back on the close-up camera. So we're doing this whole area. Any bits that you can see where you haven't got any bits that you can see that you don't have any on, just try and cover up with a bit that I'll take a bit off. So I've got a hole there, a bit there that isn't covered, and I still haven't covered it. Just covering up any bits that you can see, and then tamping it down, going around the whole thing, making sure you cover all of that texture. Yeah, and then you should then start to brush away. Don't look for perfection in this, because you're going to lose some of this glitter is going to, some of this gilding flakes is going to go this way, and it's going to cover some of your other work. But I like that whole, natural feeling to it. Like somebody's made it. It's not just been created in a factory. There we go. It's not perfect because it's handmade. So there we go. So that's what we've got. Let's try and get that in camera. There we go. So we've got the gold starburst effect here, and then we've got the copper coloured bit in the middle. Okay. So just going to get rid of this. It's gone everywhere. I told you, everywhere. So there we go. I really thought that just lent itself to that kind of like 1920s look. So I just wanted to doff my hat to the 20s by giving it a bit of a finishing gilding flakes. I'm just going to put those over there. Basically, I've just taken them off camera, and then I've just perched precariously on the edge of the bin, to be fair. So, and then I thought that Becca B sent me some of these. Let's go back to the overhead camera. So Becca B sent me these. So these, I just thought that these kind of had they've got that, they look like they really would go with that. So like him, I could see him on there, for instance. Those. So I just thought that, these were cards that she'd sent through. These are graphic 45 cards, like I say, from Becca B's store, which is BECKAB .co.uk. I keep saying at for some reason. It's not an email address. Only email addresses have ats in it. So I don't know whether to use those people or whether to use him. Something, I like him. I like the uncluttered thing. So just making sure that I've only got one card here. Okay, no, I haven't. I've got two. And then finding my Tim Holt scissors, which are covered in stuff. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this fella out. So, and how do I want it? So I'm going to cut it out, but I want to use some of the border. So I'll come to the border in a minute. I'm going to go around that bit. Fussy cutting live on camera. This is not something I would normally do. So this has the whole potential for this to go horribly wrong. Okay, so I'm going to cut him out. So let's have the close-up Let's turn that like that. If it wasn't so wobbly, it'd be all right. There we go. So you can watch me fussy cut now. So you could, if could get it in camera. There we go. So so always move the paper and not the scissors. Well, I say always. There are some times when it's just impossible. So, sorry, you can tell I'm concentrating, can't you? I've gone quiet. So just following the whole edge. Doesn't matter if you're not terribly precise, it's not the end of the world. So, anything like a cane or anything like that, it might be too thin if you try and cut it right up to the edge, so you might want to leave a border around it. You can, of course, cut, when you're fussy cutting, you can cut with a border. Really, Dave, you really have a much better camera angle than that for people to be able to see. Let's try that. I'm sorry, folks, I'm doing this kind of live, and I really should be, perhaps just flip back to there and try and then get this in the right place. Me trying to be all technical using 2 cameras and everything. There we go. I'll try and stay under here. Yeah, so like I say, just when you're fussy cutting the moving the image and not the scissors. Now here it gets a bit tricky because you're going into this area, so what I would do is I'd first cut around the whole silhouette first. I'm not, like I say, I am not a fussy cutter. I do it for you guys, but if I don't have to, I would, I would probably do it on my scan and cut or on my Cricut, to be fair, if I wasn't doing it on camera. I just find it so time consuming. I mean, like, I know some of you like that, but like, I really have to concentrate, and as you can tell, I kind of don't do very well with actually the talking and the doing. And so those people that say they fussy cut while they watch TV, how does that happen? I'd completely lose the plot of something if I was trying to fussy cut and watch TV. I have enough problems concentrating on TV as it is, so so yeah, cutting round, all the way round. I'm not doing very well with staying in shot, am I? So, like down to that. Okay, so that's him kind of cut out. I've just thought, oh, do with cutting my nails. It's not the whole. That's not what we were looking at, is it? So yeah, there we go. So this is the bit that I didn't cut out before, because it was a bit too fiddly. So start with the easiest bit. So I'm going to start with this bit, which is easier because it's a bit less things to cut round. So yeah, and then I'll just clip to his elbow, and then I'll do this other bit. So rather than trying to go round here with my scissors, I'm going to start back up here and just go around here, and just just saying, people do it differently, but I'm frightened now he might lose a nose. I don't know, I might have clipped a little bit off his nose, but he's survived. Oops. Yeah, so there we go, going around here, and round to his elbow, which should cut that bit out. Whew. There we go. I've managed to cut him while on camera. That's amazing. So I'll move this out of the way. Sorry, just flip you back to this other camera. Let's try and get that camera angle as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him on here, but I think I want some of this design, but I might have to take it off another one because I want it to be on this side. And I don't know if I like him as well. Maybe I could have him behind. Oh yeah, that's okay. There we go. More fussy cutting. You're not going to be able to see that. Let's go back to the overhead. So I'm going to keep the border. I'm not going to worry too much about cutting these flowers out perfectly. I can kind of just go around them. And then I'm going to cut this couple out. I really like this couple. So didn't see that first. So right, rather than trying to maneuver the whole thing, let's just cut this out. So I really like Graphic 45. I really like some of their imagery, and the other thing I like about Graphic 45 is they do the whole kind of shebang. So they don't just do the paper, they do all of the cards, and they do the rice paper and all sorts of stuff to go with their whole collection. So again, like I'm going to do here, I'm not going to try and get into that bit. I'm just going to cut round and go over her hat. Some of her hat's going to go, but like, never mind. So anyway, I hope everybody is well. This is much better. If I talk about something where I'm not actually telling you something, I can concentrate. So, hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's staying safe, following whatever guidelines that you have in your area, and that you're not taking any risks. No risk taking. We all want to get out of this alive at the end of the day, don't we? So we do it for the greater good. That's everybody. So, don't know where she ends and the background begins. So, don't know. Oh, I think I've just cut a parasol off, but never mind. I'm going to cut round this bit. And I'm going to go to there and just cut his finger out. Yeah, so yeah, I hope you all staying safe. I hope the weather's good wherever you are, because at the moment in the UK, well, certainly in the bit of the UK that we're in, it's dark now, because it's, what time is it? 7:05. 7:05? No? 7 minutes past 5, even. I've just frightened Brian then, thinking, what? No, so it's 5 minutes past 7. Sorry, that was a dyslexic glance at the clock. I do that quite often on transpose numbers. So yeah, I know the weather's not been great today. It's been quite windy today, actually. It was lovely. It was nice and sunny, and then it started to drizzle and rain. So it's October in the UK. October? No, it isn't. It's November in the UK. Should I just not bother talking? Because I really have no idea what I'm talking about. It's not October. It's not 7:05. 7:05. I'll just shut up, Dave.
Give it up now.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just cutting this out. I did say I could talk about nothing and cut out, but clearly I can't. My one brain cell is currently occupied. Please bear with us. Okay, so I've successfully cut her parasol off. But never mind. She didn't need it. But it's a nice day. It's not too sunny. She's not trying to shade her eyes. So I've decided anyway. Sorry about the rustling you can hear in the background. That's Brian changing his name to Russell. So just going to cut this round. I think I cut off her fox fur thing which basically is a good thing, really. Don't want to be encouraging that, any of that. There we go. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. There's like a blue border. Let's see if I can do this, Dave. There's a blue border on this. So I'm going to cut this blue border off. Okay. I'll kind of cut it down to the flowers. Yeah, like that. Okay, and I might just cut round that just to give it a bit more, well, a bit more interest, and for something else to do. Something else to do badly on camera. And I'm going to put that there, and I think I'm going to put him in the background. So he's... Don't know now. Might. I just don't think that's enough height on its own. So I'm not quite sure, though, perspective-wise, whether he's a bit big. I could be pointing at him, I guess. No, I'm not going to put him on. Okay, so what I might do then is I might cut this hot air balloon out. Dear. I'm going to cut the Imagine bit out as well with it. So, and maybe the flowers. This is probably not something anybody wants to watch me do. Cutting out. But you know what? Tough. Because we're going to finish this, like it or not. Okay. So, just cut any extra off. You don't want to put yourself under any more pressure than you currently are. To try and cut things. So, I don't know whether that or that might be better. Okay, so I am going to try and cut for you close up. Except for it's wobbling quite a bit, so... Can you see it? Where am I? Where is it? I don't know. I can't even see it. What? There. Okay. This is probably not a good idea. No. I'm really not doing very well with this, am I, folks? I'm not going to bother with a second camera at this rate. Okay. Hopefully you can see that this time. Yeah, you can. Right, okay. We've got that noise in the background, that thing that sounds like tap dancing. That's Worcester, who has just licked my elbow. Thanks, Worcester. What do you want? I'm filming. Daddy's filming. You need to go and lie down or something, Worcester. Go and have a snooze. More of a snooze than you already had. Hang on a minute, Buster. You might have got caught. Oh no, you're not. I thought it was caught around my microphone wire. Then that would have been disastrous. Okay, so I'm just going to cut basically round it. I'm not going to get too giddy about this. Yeah, I'm going to cut around that. I'm starving. I haven't eaten well, I have. I've had my breakfast today, and I did say I was going to make sure I was fully hydrated today, but I don't seem to have done very well with that so far. I've got a bottle of water here where in this last hour I've not even attempted to drink from it. So it's because I was trying to keep the moisture down for the gilding. So again, this is not proper fussy cutting. Some of you are in horror now, thinking, "It's just cut that bit off." Yeah, I have. And so what? I'm not even trying to cut round these petals on this flower. just being shaped in my shape, not the shape it was meant to be. There you go. It's all right. It looks all right. Nobody will be able to tell. I know there's a bit of fruit sticking out the top, but you know what? That's gone. Can't get around that. I am in awe of anybody that can fussy cut and do all of this and make it look perfect, because you've obviously got some skills that I haven't. So you see, I can cut around the hot air balloon, what he says, and then doesn't actually do it. I can cut around the hot air balloon, that's fairly easy. I'm going to cut around this sign. Just cutting it off. And again around here. Okay, up to that line, so don't cut any of the strings, otherwise the hot air balloon won't. It won't be a very good hot air balloon, will it, if it's not tied to its basket? It's just a balloon. So it wouldn't be a hot air balloon either, because it wouldn't have any hot air in it, because that's where the hot air comes from the basket. Well, it certainly does now. I don't know whether it did in the olden days. Never been in a hot air balloon. I'd like to. I bet it's really like surreal feeling, because you know, flying without the sound of an engine, it would be very surreal. Almost like, you know, like you get more of a bird's perspective of flight, don't you? Because it's quiet and the only thing you can hear is the wind rushing past your ears. So yeah, quite like to go in a hot air balloon, but you know, I was going to say, but social distancing, but then again, you know, how much more distant can you be up in the air? Although you are all trapped in a basket together, so you'd have to be with only your bubble of your friends. So I don't know whether I've done any of this on camera, and if I haven't, I apologise. I got carried away cutting and not watching. So there we go. I'm not going to worry about this bit in the background. The strings, they can stay. I've cut a few bits off, so, but again, I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to get rid of these bits of paper. Okay. So I'm going to have them there and there and that up there. I quite like that. I do quite like that, I've got to say that. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a hole in the top of here and turn it into like a tag, and I'm going to cut it with a slot punch. So rather than it being, I'll do it on the back because it's much easier to judge the middle. So I am going to do it with a slot. Get the middle and then just punch it out. Okay, and that creates a slot. Okay, so that's just a slot punch. So I'm going to put these, let's move that out of the way. I'm going to put these like this. Yeah, I like that. So they need aging. They're too new looking for me. You know what I'm like. You know what I'm like by now. So they just need like colouring around the edge. And it also, I find that if you kind of just colour around the edge, you kind of disguise the bits where, you know, you might not have quite got the background quite right. But nobody will ever know. Nobody will know that it wasn't supposed to be like that. So I'm just going to colour in a bit. Bring the colour in a bit. Sorry, not colour in a bit. Trying not to bend off his finger. Yeah, So we're just taking the colour down on those. Again with the hot air balloon, just going over the whole thing just to take the colour down. So that disguises any of those little white edges you've got. Try not to bend it as you go, but you know, hey ho, if it happens, it happens. Lost my train of thought from what I was talking about earlier, so I know I was talking about the weather, and that was about all I got to. So yeah, I'm gonna put that on there. I'm just gonna have to have a drink. I'm really sorry, but I am parched. So, I'm gonna stick that down, but do I want something in the background? And if I do, what do I want? Maybe a bit of... No, it's all too samey. The whole thing I wanted to do is stop it from being quite so samey. Not sesame. Oh, not, you see, they're exactly the same colours. I'm not going to add anything to it or take something away. Put that down there, put that on there, there. I quite like that. I'm going to stick that down. I will sew it on, but I'll stick it down with the Fabri-Tac for now, which was just off camera. So I'm just going to glue the whole thing and then sew it later. Oh, some loose strings, never mind. Today is messy, disorganised craft. Sorry. It's just how it happens sometimes.
Sometimes that's what craft's all about. Though.
Yeah, sometimes that's exactly. So Brian has just said sometimes that's what craft's all about. And it is. You know, sometimes it just happens that way. So I'll pop that. I really like the fact that those colours are so similar, like almost the same, aren't they? So, like this was meant to be together. Okay, so I've inked it all, but I didn't ink the edges. I'm just going to ink the edges now. Not worrying too much. Okay, so I'm going to stick that on there. I'll stick them there. I think I might just put a word on, if Brian would be so kind as to supply me with said words. You know, the really hard board ones? I don't think they're in there, are they?
I've no idea where they are.
They were in a tray of...
Doth one mean these?
I do! Just those, yeah, sorry, just in the middle of sticking something down, so... Stick there. I'm going to stick this on. So this Sugar Bell stuff bottle, you know, I said I was going to tell you whether I liked it or not. Well, I do. I love it. So I definitely think it's worth getting, worth investing in. Just can't believe that you can't buy them in the UK. You have to kind of buy them from Amazon, and they come from America. Can't believe that we don't have squeezy bottles in the UK. Anyway, and then what I thought is I would put one of these on. Do I want that on? Sure, I do quite like it, but I don't know whether it goes. I don't know whether it's right. Collection. I was going to try and cover up one of these words. Inspire, imagine, thoughts and theories. Just finding something. I love these words. These Could do with buying some more of these, to be fair. Collect, beautiful, doesn't fit. Salvaged. Lucky is a state of mind, or Lucky is a dog that I used to know when I was little. So, live in the moment. Quite like live in the moment. Or dreamer of dreams. Is that dreamer of dreams? Is that what that says? It does say dreamer of dreams. Dreamer of dreams. Yeah, I quite like dreamer of dreams, to be fair. So, I'm going to have dreamer of dreams on there. Do I have something? I just don't like. I think they're just a bit. I don't know, a bit cliche. Use your wings. Although it's not a wing. They're not using their wings, are they? They're using a hot air balloon. Let's see what else we've got. Heart and soul. Choose to shine. No, they're too big. Shine bright, that would go with the gilding in the background. It's too big, too big. Finders keepers. Yeah, I'm going to buy myself some more of these. Make a wish. I don't know, I might keep use your wings. Kind of got that flight element, hasn't it? Do I want that on there? No, I think it's better without. Just getting a bit too cluttered otherwise. So, give the sugar bell a shake. The sugar bell shake. Just like that bottle just went. Oh, that's not a good idea. Use your wings, and we're going to have Dreamer of Dreams up there. So, yeah, this bottle is so much easier to squeeze than squeezing the actual bottle that they come in. Try getting that straight, Dave. Well, at least try. Even if you don't. Right, stick that down. Stick that down. We've decided against that. Okay, so we've got that. We're just going to cut off all of the excess bits of fabric. Just cut it from the back, Dave. They're just too small, I think. That's the problem with them. I'd use another pair of scissors. I could find a bigger pair of scissors. So again, just cutting off. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Cutting off your excess. It's great. I might not actually sew it now. I think it looks okay like that. Yeah, and then what I want is I want something around the top, so I want a bit of. Oh, I quite like that, but it's not long enough. It doesn't have to be long, I guess. Put it down. Just cut it, hopefully it'll fit now. Through that hole. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it doesn't have to be long, Dave. You could have that and you could perhaps have a bit of that over the top. So, put a bit of this off. A bit of those together. Yeah, go for that, Dave. Yeah, Dave, go for that. I'm just going to put them through there together first. And then I will glue those two bits together so that they don't move too much, at least. Hello? Are we working? All right. I saw Brian off camera, and he was poised, and I thought he was going to talk to me, but he hasn't. So, okay, do that, and then I'm just gonna glue those two. Just glue that to that. And glue that bit to that. Okay. Created a bit of interest. There we go. So that's what we've made. So, I mean, like, it's, you know, it's taken longer than an hour, or just a bit over an hour. But we have we've gilded this, the background, and we've created this tag. So, yes, so that's what we've done in this last hour, together, in perfect harmony, side by side on a piano keyboard. No, please don't sing that, Dave. So yeah, so that's basically what we've done. Sorry, I've just been trying to alter that camera angle. So so a rare appearance from me. This is what we've made. So I'll go back to this because nobody wants to look at me. I'll get somebody else to do the editing next time. I might get Brian to do that, because trying to do it, be in two places at once, was not easy. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it hasn't been too all over the place. I know it's getting a bit swappy and changey. I promise I will learn from it and do better next time, and I will sit on the naughty step otherwise. So yeah, so anyway, that's what we've made in the hour. Cut this out, but didn't need it. Might actually attach him to there, who knows, or quite like that now. Yeah, okay, so that might go on there. Okay, so background is messy, really sorry, my board is messy, but that's it, we're done. So I hope you've enjoyed today. If you have, please like, subscribe, and share. If you didn't like the too many camera angles, I completely understand that. I might give this an edit before I put it out, so you might not see some of the things that I saw. And I hope that you will tune in again, hopefully, and it'd be great to see your comments. I know that, you know, some of you always comment, and I really do appreciate any comments that you put, because I can reply to them, and it makes me feel like I'm not talking to myself, although, you know, to be fair, that happens as well. So hopefully you've had a lovely time watching me. Please, you know, like this or share it or whatever, and I will say goodbye. I'll flip you back to the overhead, and I will say thank you very much. This is Dash of Dave. I hope you all have a great afternoon, evening, morning, night, whatever time it is that you're watching this, and I will say goodbye. Remember, I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to, and I will see you very soon, hopefully in the next video. Take care, sending you all my love, mwah, 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 and a big crafty hug, and I will see you very soon. Thanks very much for watching Dash Dave. I will see you next time. Bye.